I would like to start with telling a short story about the girl who got shot while fighting for education. Her name is Malala Yousafzai. She became an international symbol of the fight for girls' education after she was shot in 2012 for opposing Taliban's restrictions on female education in her home country of Pakistan. As Malala Yousafzai once said, one child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. She brings out the importance of education with her inspiring story. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brianna and I'm from Untung Suropati Catholic Senior High School, Sidoarjo. I would like to thank the God Almighty Himself for giving me the strength that guides me to deliver this speech. The topic that I choose today for my speech is the role of education in the formation of rhetoric, critical, and characters in future development. So, what is the meaning of education, you might ask? And how does it relate to the topic that I chose today for my speech? Education is the process where an individual acquires or imparts basic knowledge to another. Humans can't live without the act of learning. We learn new things every day. That's why education has been an important thing that helps us grow with knowledge. Education helps us be a better person to the society, where we can differentiate the good and the bad and what should we do to make our society better. For me, education has given me many good opportunities that secure my future. And more importantly, it helps me communicate by expressing my thoughts better with argumentative and persuasive words. You might be wondering, how does education shapes rhetoric, critical, and characters for people? I will firstly talk about formal education that we receive at school. For example, in my own experience. When I was in 11th grade, my teacher gave us time to debate about Indonesia's law. He asked, "Is that sentence a good thing or a bad thing to you?" And all of us started to debate almost immediately. I started to be persuaded by listening to my friends' arguments, and it made me focus on one thing. It's how they're so good at choosing the right words that can persuade people into believing something. And we could also learn from every school subjects that teach us to do presentations, develop arguments or debate, and practice to give speech. All of those little yet important things we get in order to improve our ability to think rhetorically, critically, and with the right ethics, of course. Maybe at first we feel nervous, speaking with stutters, or we can't explain correctly what's in our mind. And this is where the role of formal education starts to play. If we have been trained continuously from the learning that was given, unconsciously, we are trained to think critically to voice out our opinions so that people can understand us and be persuaded by our words. Although we receive education more formally, our brain also contains informal education from the environment that surrounds us. So, what is the role of informal education so that we can develop and think critically? Informal education is not structured and full of details like formal education does, and we can get it from any experiences in our life. For example, we can learn basic manners from our parents or how they taught us to be. From that experience itself, we can learn how to differentiate good manners or bad manners. And from here, a good character can be built in near future. If we have good communication with our parents, friends, or people around us, then naturally, our brain is used to stringing words correctly while communicating and using it for good. Informal education also helps us to communicate orally. We often communicate in writing in school, and it affects on our oral communication by ignoring it and making it hard for us to explain something rhetorically. With the wrong words to say, this could lead us not convincing enough when we need to persuade someone, or just saying random words with bad arguments to back it up. Formal education usually makes us think and do something based on books or written information. Meanwhile, informal education, from what we have seen, heard, or experienced, can stimulate our brain to solve a problem by expressing our opinions with the right words and right ethics. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, rhetoric, critical thinking, and ethical characters are intertwined elements that shape our ability to communicate effectively and contribute positively to our communities. By mastering the art of rhetoric, we harness the power of persuasion. Through critical thinking, we navigate the sea of information with discernment. And by upholding ethical characters, we build a foundation of trust and integrity. Well, I think that's all for me to deliver my speech for today. Thank you and see you next time. Goodbye.